Cancer, hello. It has been quite a minute for me. I needed to take an energetic break and live life a little bit. So that's why I've been MIA. But I figured today I should at least try and get on and get a reading out, see what is going on for the Cancer Collective. Spirits, angels, ancestor guides, tell us about Cancer. What do we need to tell Cancer? Tell us about Cancer. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. Someone needs to learn to balance their spirituality and their practicality. Don't let one override the other. The key is balance. Full moon in Pisces. So that's coming up soon. Let me get you the date. Good grief. Okay, so this would be in September. So this could possibly be happening this past September or expected to come up in September 2023. So basically, the basis of this full moon, an excellent time for daydreaming, imaginative energy, compassion, and calm flowing easily with whatever changes may come. Yeah, so go with the flow. Go with the flow. Don't fight it. So if this is currently happening to you now, take a deep breath. Keep the balance. Go with the flow. Let your imagination go wild. All right, spirits, angels, ancestor guides, tell us more about Cancer. Tell us more about Cancer. Healing. Time for healing. You are probably healing right now. If this full moon in Pisces, this past early September, possibly kicked you off on a spiritual journey. I think you've probably always been spiritual, but I think this really kicked it into gear because with that healing. Okay, and if you don't feel like you're going through healing and you don't feel like you're going through a spiritual ascension right now, then expect it to come up in September 2023. Tell us more. Magnetic attraction. Okay, Cancer. So you are you have a magnetic attraction, obviously, towards somebody. And I don't know, maybe this person has kicked you off on your healing journey. You may have had a powerful encounter. And this person is probably very spiritual. Music. There must be certain songs that trigger you about a certain someone. You know, when you're driving in the car and you hear old songs and it'll take you down memory lane. You know, and you always think of somebody. You're feeling something powerful right now. Home. Somebody's looking for their home. They're tired of roaming the streets, feeling lost. They just want to go home. They want to know where they live. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody wants that. Or they should. Anything else before we switch and get into the tarot? Anything else? Player. Either you're the player or you're dealing with a player. Let's get some details on that. Tell us about the player. What is it about this player? Tell us about the player. Okay. Six of Wands in reverse. So this player isn't receiving the attention and recognition they used to. You know, it's kind of like, think about it, you know, when you're a football player, you are in your prime when you're young, you know? Everybody's just playing the field. They're doing their thing. Not getting too serious, but their head's in the sport. The sport of meeting people and dating people. You know, it's a sport. You know, it's not ever truly always taken seriously. You're just living life. And then you get older, you know, you got to worry about not being able to have the speed or the strength. You know, you can get hurt. You know, your body and your mental mindset isn't in the same place as it used to be. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you can't play football forever. A woman can't be a model forever. You know, when you do those types of jobs, there's an expiration date. There's an expiration date on milk, on food. It expires. So what I'm saying is, playing the field has an expiration date. You know? You eventually just, it's tiring, you know? Do you want to go out and get tackled and beat the shit up on the field, you know, when you're like 60, 70 years old? Hell no. Who wants that? You know what I mean? It's different when you're young. You know, there's more to think about when you get older. So we've got a player here that is healing. They're healing and they want to come out of this player. Well, you know what? Let's let the cards speak for themselves. I'm talking too much. So guess what happens? I haven't been on here for a while and it's, you know, and I almost didn't get on tonight. I almost didn't, you know, I didn't know when I was going to get back on, but then I was like, no, let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and get back on. And now that I'm on, I can't shut the F up. So it's like, good God. I think that's too many. No, 3, we'll take it. All right, so we've got the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. We've got the 10 of Swords. And we've got Temperance. So we've got some Gemini, we've got some Sagittarius. We've got some Virgo. We've got some Leo. So with the supposed player, kind of, like I said, feeling like they're not feeling as recognized as they used to. Again, like I say, when you get to a certain age, you know, it's like you can't play football, or a female, you know, you can't be a model. So you're losing, you know, your momentum. And this person Cancer, you, or, somebody you're dealing with, take it as it resonates. While you're not feeling the recognition, you feel like you're losing your spark, or kind of like you have cards in your pocket, right? Or one-liners, or showing off what you have. It gets to a point where, in order for you to attract what you really want to attract, 9 times out of 10, any of the bullshit things that you want to pull out to get somebody to be with you isn't gonna work. And it's like this person feels like they're running out of things to do to reel in women, right? A player wants to play and they want to keep moving. And when you keep moving down the line, you've got to pull things out of your pocket. It's kind of like the candy van. You pull up, hey, I got some candy in the van. Or, hey, I got the jewels in the van. Or, hey, look at the rims I got on my car. It's nice and fine and dandy when you're younger, because it works. But when you get older, it's not going to pull in really what you want, right? You're gonna when you drive up and you say, hey, I got some candy in the van, what are you going to attract, right? It depends on what the candy is. You know what I'm saying? You could be, pulling in somebody who does crack, or, if it's something expensive like jewels, you're going to be pulling in these young girls that, want you to buy them clothes, or, they want a sugar daddy. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine and dandy. But really, when you pull those type people in, and I'm not knocking on anybody. We all go through phases of life where, we have skeletons in our closet. No big deal. We all do. There were times we all got attracted to things because it was just flashy, right? So when it's flashy, people get attracted to things. And then when you get older, you realize, oh, well, I'm older now. Like, I can buy that candy for myself. What else do you got? You know what I mean? And not to get too far off topic, but the point that I'm trying to get to is that when you're using things, material things, anything other than you being you, and you giving your time, your emotions, your soul, like, those are the most expensive things ever when you get to a certain age. So when you're done playing football, and you're ready to attract in what you really want, you have to give the most expensive things you actually have. And not everybody understands how expensive those things are. But when you continue at a certain age to use certain tactics to get different people to come to you, you find yourself stabbed in the back. And you don't understand why, right? You're sitting there and you're like, I don't understand why, I bought so-and-so, some diamond earrings, or I took so-and-so to, this 5-star restaurant, and picked her up in my, Mercedes or whatever. I mean, not everybody's going to be genuine enough if they're just attracted to those things. It's not going to do you any good. What are you getting out of it? I mean, ask yourself, well, what are they going to do for me? Well, you flashed, you went fishing. Fish are going to, when they're hungry, and if you're easily going to throw out, that bait, they're just going to take it. You know what I'm saying? They're just going to take it. And when you go fishing, let's face it, if that fish is able to get that bait off the hook without getting hooked, they're going to do it. And it's the same thing with humans. So you can't do all these flashy things. These, men and women, they are going to try and hook off that bait and run. You know what I mean? They don't really want to get hooked. They want to get what you're offering and run. So when you offer up the most expensive things you have, your time, your emotions, your soul, just you, your being, your truth, that's expensive. So you're going to be picky about who gets that. And you should be. That, your body is your one body from the time you're born until the time you leave this earth. It's it. That's all you've got. Shirts, tank tops, you rebuy it. It's disposable. Things are disposable. Humans are not. You've got to treat them like shrines. So you've got to be very particular. So with the Temperance card out, this is where you need to understand that I think you're starting to understand is that by using flashy things, learning you're just getting stabbed in the back because, let's face it, that fish just wants that bait. They're going to try and get it and they're going to run away. And then you're going to be having to keep putting more bait on the end of that hook until you actually hook one. And then 9 times out of 10, if you do actually hook them, they'll stick around for a while, but it's not gonna be fulfilling to you because they only came after the bait for one reason. Stop using the bait. You are the bait yourself, and you want to be very choosy about it. So when you get stabbed in the back and you get hurt, you start to realize with the Temperance, you want balance. Purpose, you want feeling. You want somebody to want you for you, not for what you drive. Because at the end of the day, eventually you're going to feel that. It might be good in the moment, but eventually you're going to get hurt from it. Get off my soapbox. Sorry. I probably shouldn't have came on, right? It's Valentine's Day and here I'm giving a lecture about not being a player. Like, don't be a player. You know what I mean? It's fine when you're playing the field when you're young, but when you get older, man, I tell you what, you are valuable. We all go through those phases, but you just got to learn to get out of them sooner than later. So tell us more about Cancer. Tell us more about Cancer with home. Tell us more about the home. Queen of Wands. The Fool in reverse. So I want to say you are currently with somebody that is labeled as a Queen of Wands. That you're holding back from. You're holding back because I think you feel in your mind you've made a mistake. So this Queen of Wands was probably somebody that took the bait. You may have flashed something. And now you're starting to realize it was a mistake. So with the Queen of Wands, we have Pisces, Aries energy. So you're feeling the stab in the back because of a Queen of Wands. You feel like you've made a mistake. Tell us about the heat. Tell us about the magnetic attraction. Seven of Wands in reverse. So you felt the magnetic attraction, Leo energy for the Seven of Wands. So you felt a magnetic attraction to this Queen of Wands. Yeah, you're feeling overwhelmed and like you want to give up. Tell us about the music. What is the music about? Five of Swords in reverse. So you're triggered by songs that you hear that remind you of somebody. Somebody obviously that you may have hurt. This is Aquarius energy. You have a desire to reconcile with somebody you associate with music. So when you listen to music, there are triggering songs that take you down memory lane. And you're hurt. And I'm sorry, because that, anybody hurting over love sucks. Like, I get it. Everybody gets it. Everybody gets hurt. And it's a bad feeling. But here's the thing. Like I said, you got to get out of the player mode and you've got to stop flashing things because, well, let's find out more. Tell us more about this person Cancer has regrets over. Two of Cups in reverse. Cancer energy. So this person that you have past resentment with, there's broken communication right now. The communication isn't as good as it used to be. Tell us more. Four of Wands in reverse. Aries energy. Yeah, so they're feeling the lack of support, breakdown in the communication. So obviously they're feeling it as well. So it looks like they're feeling what you're feeling. What's the outcome of this situation? Tell us more about the outcome. Okay, so we've got the Nine of Swords and we've got the Seven of Swords in the reverse. There's a lot of mental activity right now. Somebody is definitely in their head. There's depression, anxiety, there's worries, there's fears. Somebody's going to need to come clean about their feelings and what's happened. Right? The anxiety, it's almost like the anxiety, the fears, the depression, the worries, the nightmares. I mean, somebody is tore up in their head, and it's going to cause them to, they're going to want to come clean. They want to rethink their approach on this. Gemini energy, Aquarius energy. What is the advice? The Nine of Wands in reverse. Sagittarius energy. We've got the High Priestess in reverse. So the advice would be, in order to get over these struggles with the communication, the struggles of you transitioning out of that player mode, so to speak. Stop, using things to pull people in. Listen, you know what I mean? Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart more than your mind, and listen to your soul, because that's what's gonna guide you to that's what's going to guide you to keep you from losing this how do I want to say this, losing sight of your intuition. Don't let things cloud your intuition. When you're dealing with the wrong person that's not for you, or a person that doesn't genuinely love you for you, that clouds your intuition. And that's why when you date other people and it becomes, almost toxic, these are lessons that are handed to you from the universe. So if you don't love yourself enough to overcome your fears, to be able to talk about your feelings, share your soul, put the material things away, learn how to do those things. Otherwise, the universe is going to keep handing you opportunities, but they're not going to hand you something like sprinkling. It's not going to be like sprinkling pixie dust to where it's like, okay, we're going to give you your perfect person. And guess what? You're healed. All this player stuff, you're just going to wake up the next morning. What's the joke? What was that joke? That meme that used to go around on social media? That pill they would joke about. It would be fuckatol. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like they're going to sprinkle all that and you're going to take that fuckatol pill. You're going to wake up the next morning next to the person of your dreams and the relationship works. No, it doesn't work that way. Like, you need to use your own resources to learn what you're doing so you don't keep making the same mistake. So the advice is like I was saying, don't get caught up in certain types of people that are going to cloud your judgment. And it's 9 times out of 10, these women, it's not like they're meaning to do it. They think that, that's what you're genuinely handing them. So they're like, okay, that's great. If you're willing to be my sugar daddy, okay, well, I need help with bills. So perfect. That's our relationship. That might be fine for some people at certain points of their life, and that's okay. But if you're going to know that's not right for you, then that's where you're going to need to keep yourself from being clouded with your own intuition. Okay. Your intuition is what's going to guide you to what's right and what's wrong. It's going to help you keep the balance. We're all going to be tested continuously. Even if you are healed and you are with your ultimate partner, you're still going to be tested by the universe. They're going to make sure you are on point. You're not going to get like a cracked out squirrel that's gonna, start darting across the street back and forth and zigzagging. They want to make sure you are 100% still loving yourself and providing that love not only to yourself but to the one you love, and that it's a union that cannot be broken up. And a lot of that starts with you loving yourself first, because you're not going to let somebody just show up and start jerking you around when you love yourself. You're going to be like, get the hell out of here. Like, no, you're going to put that wall up, and you're just not going to do that. So that's why we can't take a fuck it all pill and wake up and be healed. Because if it was that easy, fuck it all would be rich. Okay. They would be completely rich and everybody would be doing it. Because let me tell you, working on yourself is hard. Like, it is mentally it's like a mind fuck. I'm not going to joke with you. It's hard. It sucks. It's looking at yourself in the mirror every day and, making sure you're keeping yourself in check and loving yourself. So anyway, sorry for all the ramble, and God, it wasn't the best reading for Valentine's Day. I apologize that this might not come out until tomorrow morning, but I'm actually doing this on Valentine's Day. So let's get some inspiration. Let's see what inspiration there is before we go ahead and end it, because I know I've been doing a lot of rambling. That's what happens when you don't come on here for a while, right? Then you can't get me to shut it up. All right, let's see. What inspiration do we have here for Cancers? Let's give them some inspiration. Okay, that was good. Oh, Lordy. Macabre. Oh. Ego death. You're going through an ego death. Yeah. Anything else? And that's a good thing. We all have to go through it. Insight. Yeah. When you go through your ego death, you're gaining the insight. You're the owl. The owl, watches and listens to everything. They listen to people around them. They listen to what's actually going on. And so when you go through that ego death, that's when you'll start to realize, when you hear from the owl. You like my little heart my nail lady did on my nail? Okay, never mind. Anyway, it's Valentine's Day, so I figured to show my heart. Well, that's not my real heart, but Anyway, so with the owl listens to everything around them and pays attention. So when you go through the ego death, you start to hear things around you, people you used to associate with, and you start to realize, maybe that friend or those, few girlfriends that I, hook up with, maybe they're not so good for me. Maybe they're putting me in a bad place or making me feel bad about myself. That's what happens with the owl. They start to pay attention. Okay? I love you guys very much. We all have to go through ego deaths. There's nothing wrong with it. But my God, when you go through all that and you learn and you turn into the owl, you get to sit back and watch everybody else in their shit shows. And that's when you try to help them out because you've already gone through it. You're like, oof, best of luck to you. Give them a little advice to get them started. You want to get you want to get out of that, phase. You want to do the ego death because then you've learned enough to be able to help other people. But I'm not going to lie to you. Each stage where you ascend more and more and more, and you look back at all those levels that you were at in the past, you're like, oh my God, thank God I'm not there anymore. You know what I mean? And you almost feel sorry for those people who are starting out on their healing process because it is rough. The beginning part is rough. But you know what? It continues to be rough, but we end up being prepared for it. And we don't end up getting jerked around by anybody. We're balanced. We're around the right people. We're not being used for anything in particular. So it's a good place to be. It's just, it's not going to be easy getting there. It's boot camp. What do they say? No pain, no gain. So not only does that work for the gym or boot camp, it works inside the mind and the soul and the heart as well. It's just as tough. But it is very rewarding when you come out on the other side and you genuinely love yourself and you end up finding somebody who loves you back for you and not that shiny fish hook. Okay? So I hope you guys had a wonderful Valentine's. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Much love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.